Research is hard, but your tools should not be. Subthesis.com is the free alternative to expensive software. Whether you need to calculate Cronbach's alpha or organize your field notes, Subthesis has a tool for it. No paywalls and no registration required. Check the link in the description and let's dive into today's lesson. Welcome to our final video in this comprehensive graduate school prep course. Over the past 50 videos, we've explored everything from deciding whether graduate school is right for you, through funding your education, developing academic skills, navigating institutional systems, building research readiness, and now professional development. This final video brings together themes from our entire journey to help you plan your post-graduation career. As we conclude, I want to acknowledge that career planning involves genuine uncertainty. You cannot know exactly how your path will unfold, and anyone who tells you they have all the answers is oversimplifying a complex process. What you can do is approach career planning thoughtfully, build the skills and relationships that create options, and develop the flexibility to adapt as circumstances evolve. Over the next 20 minutes, we'll explore how to think strategically about career decisions, how to create actionable plans that bridge where you are and where you want to be, and how to build the resilience that helps you navigate inevitable challenges and redirections. We'll synthesize insights from across this course into a framework for moving forward with confidence. Whether you're early in your program or approaching graduation, this video will help you think clearly about what comes next and how to prepare for it. Before looking forward, let's integrate what we've covered throughout this course because career planning builds on everything else. You've explored the decision to pursue graduate education and the application process that brought you here. Understanding why you came to graduate school helps you think about what comes next. Your motivations may have evolved. That evolution informs career direction. You've learned about funding and how to finance your education. These skills, identifying opportunities, writing proposals, managing budgets, transfer to career contexts, grant seeking, budget management, and resource acquisition matter beyond graduate school. You've developed academic skills that serve you in any knowledge work context: research, writing, critical thinking, time management, professional communication. These capabilities have value across sectors, not just in academia. They're your transferable skills portfolio. You've learned to navigate institutional systems with their written and unwritten rules. This organizational savvy, understanding cultures, building relationships, managing politics, applies wherever you work. Every organization has systems to navigate. You've built research readiness, from developing questions to analyzing data. These systematic inquiry skills distinguish you. Whether your research is academic or applied, in universities or organizations, you bring trained research capability. Now, professional development, networking, job markets, publishing, presenting equips you for career advancement. These skills make your expertise visible and open doors. Career planning starts with self-knowledge. Without understanding yourself, you risk pursuing paths that don't fit who you actually are. What matters most to you, your core values, should guide career decisions: intellectual freedom, financial security, social impact, work-life balance. Different careers emphasize different values. Misalignment between your values and your career creates chronic dissatisfaction. What work energizes you? Notice what activities absorb you, leave you satisfied, and draw your continued interest. These flow experiences point toward work that suits you. What drains you matters too. Careers built around draining activities are hard to sustain. What are your genuine strengths? Not just what you're trained to do, but what you do particularly well. Your unique combination of abilities positions you for some paths better than others. Honest assessment, perhaps with input from those who know your work, reveals your distinctive strengths. What do you need from work and life? Compensation requirements, location preferences, schedule flexibility, work environment needs. These practical considerations shape viable options. Ignoring them produces careers that meet theoretical criteria but fail practically. What constraints shape your options? Family obligations, geographic limitations, financial requirements, health considerations. Real constraints exist for most people. Acknowledging them enables realistic planning rather than fantasy that ignores reality. Before planning your career, clarify what success means to you personally, not what others define as success or what your field's prestige hierarchy suggests. What does success mean to you? For some, it's contribution to knowledge. For others, it's financial security. For others, it's flexibility and freedom. For others, it's impact on problems they care about. There's no wrong answer, but different answers lead to different paths. Whose definition are you using? Graduate school often implicitly teaches that success means tenure-track positions at prestigious universities. This definition serves some people well. For others, it's imposed rather than chosen. Distinguish between internalized external expectations and your genuine aspirations. Balance external and internal measures of success. External measures, job titles, salaries, publications, recognition, are visible but don't guarantee satisfaction. Internal measures, fulfillment, meaning, alignment with values may matter more but are less visible. Most people need some of both. Consider all life domains, not just work. Career planning happens within a whole life that includes relationships, health, community, personal interests, and family. Success in career at the expense of everything else may not feel like success overall. Integrated life planning considers how career fits with everything else. Allow definitions to evolve. What success means at 25 may differ from what it means at 45. Plans should be held loosely enough to accommodate evolution in your understanding of what you want. With self-knowledge as foundation, map the career options available to someone with your background and interests. This mapping should be comprehensive before it's evaluative. Academic careers come in various forms: research-focused positions, teaching-focused positions, hybrid roles, postdoctoral positions, and contingent positions. Each has different expectations and rewards. Don't assume academic means only one thing. Industry and private sector options extend across many domains: research and development, consulting, data science, product development, technical roles, and management positions. Your advanced degree opens doors in sectors that value expertise and analytical capability. Government, policy, and public sector careers apply your knowledge to public problems. Federal agencies, state and local government, policy research organizations, and international bodies all employ people with advanced degrees. These careers often offer stability and public impact. Non-profit and mission-driven work aligns with causes you care about. Foundations, advocacy organizations, educational nonprofits, and research organizations combine meaningful work with professional careers. Compensation may be lower, but purpose alignment may be higher. Entrepreneurship, whether starting ventures or joining early-stage organizations, offers autonomy and potential upside with accompanying risk. Your expertise might address unmet needs through new organizations or products. Portfolio careers combine multiple roles rather than single employment. Consulting, teaching, writing, and other activities might combine into a career that no single job would provide. With options mapped and self-knowledge developed, systematically evaluate how different paths align with your priorities. List your priority criteria explicitly. What factors matter in evaluating career options? Common criteria include intellectual fulfillment, compensation, geographic location, work-life balance, impact and meaning, job security, advancement potential, and work environment. Identify what matters to you. Evaluate options against each criterion honestly. How well does academic career at a research university meet your compensation needs, your location preferences, your work-life balance priorities? Rate each option against each criterion, even when answers are uncomfortable. Weight criteria by importance. Not all criteria matter equally to you. If location is non-negotiable but compensation is flexible, weight them differently. If intellectual fulfillment matters more than advancement, reflect that in your evaluation. Identify options that score well overall when weighted criteria are applied. This systematic approach can reveal that options you assumed were best don't align as well as alternatives you dismissed. Unexpected insights often emerge from structured evaluation. Recognize that trade-offs are inevitable. No option excels on every dimension. Academic careers might offer intellectual fulfillment but challenging work-life balance. Industry careers might offer compensation but less autonomy over research direction. Understanding trade-offs enables informed choice rather than disappointed expectations. Vision without action remains fantasy. Action without vision leads nowhere in particular. Effective planning connects the two through specific steps bridging present and future. Start with long-term vision. Where do you want to be in 10 years? What kind of work? What kind of life? Clarity about destination informs the path toward it. Vision doesn't need to be precise. Direction matters more than exact endpoint. Work backward to medium-term milestones. To reach your 10-year vision, where should you be in 3 to 5 years? What credentials, experience, and positioning would you need? These milestones break distant vision into intermediate targets. Set specific near-term goals for the coming year. What do you need to accomplish this year to reach medium-term milestones? Publications, networking objectives, skills to develop, applications to prepare, specific goals provide accountability, identify immediate actions you can take. What can you do this week, this month to advance toward near-term goals? Actions small enough to take today build momentum. Waiting for perfect conditions produces paralysis. Build flexibility into your plan. Plans change as circumstances evolve and you learn more. Hold plans loosely enough to adjust without abandoning direction. Flexibility isn't failure, it's adaptation. Review and adjust regularly. Set periodic check-ins, quarterly perhaps, to assess progress and revise plans. Conditions change, goals may shift, new information emerges. Planning is ongoing, not one time. Strategic skill building prepares you for career opportunities while you're still in graduate school. Waiting until you need skills to start developing them puts you behind. Inventory your current skills honestly. What can you do well? Include both technical skills and soft skills. Research methodology, statistical analysis, writing, presentation, project management, teaching, collaboration. List everything. Then assess proficiency levels. Identify gaps relative to your target careers. What skills do those careers require that you don't yet have? For some paths, you may be well prepared. For others, significant development may be needed. Gap identification directs investment. Prioritize high-impact skill development. Not all gaps matter equally. Focus on skills that are both important for your target careers and significantly underdeveloped. High importance plus high gap equals high priority. Don't spread development effort too thin. Find efficient learning methods for priority skills. Courses, workshops, online learning, mentorship, practice projects, different skills are learned differently. Find what works for each skill you're developing. Efficiency matters when time is limited. Apply new skills to build credibility. Skills on your CV that you've never used are less convincing than demonstrated application. Find opportunities, perhaps through side projects, volunteer work, or additional roles, to apply developing skills. Application both deepens learning and creates evidence of capability. Your professional network, explored earlier in our networking video, directly influences career outcomes. Strategic network building should be part of your career planning. Map your current professional network. Who do you know professionally? Categorize by relationship strength, sector, and potential value for your career goals. Understanding your current network reveals where to invest further. Identify gaps in your network. Are there sectors, organizations, or types of connections missing that would support your career goals? If you're considering industry careers but only know academics, that's a gap. If you have no connections in your geographic preference, that's a gap. Build relationships strategically without being manipulative. Attend events where target connections gather. Request informational interviews with people in roles that interest you. Engage genuinely with people whose work you admire. Strategic means purposeful, not insincere. Maintain connections over time. Networks require cultivation. Brief periodic contact maintains relationships that might otherwise fade. Sharing relevant information, congratulating accomplishments, and staying visible keep connections active. Position yourself to be found by opportunities. Make your work and interests visible. Complete professional profiles. Present at conferences. Publish and share your work. Opportunities flow to people who are visible within their networks. Career planning involves inherent uncertainty that planning cannot eliminate. Learning to navigate uncertainty productively is essential for career success. Except that some uncertainty cannot be eliminated. You can't know exactly which positions will be available, how markets will evolve, or how your interests will develop. No amount of planning eliminates this uncertainty. Accepting it reduces the anxiety of demanding certainty that isn't possible. Prepare for multiple scenarios rather than betting everything on one outcome. If Plan A doesn't work, what's Plan B? If the academic market is worse than expected, what alternatives exist? Scenario thinking builds resilience and reduces panic when things don't unfold as expected. Build capabilities that transfer across scenarios. Skills, knowledge, and relationships that serve multiple possible careers hedge against uncertainty. If you develop capabilities useful across sectors, any single scenario's failure doesn't strand you. Stay alert to emerging opportunities rather than fixating on predetermined plans. Circumstances change in ways that create unexpected possibilities. Someone open to opportunity recognizes and pursues chances that someone rigidly following a plan misses. Maintain direction while adapting details. Your overall direction, the kind of work you want to do, the impact you want to have, can stay consistent even as specific tactics evolve. Distinguish between core direction, hold steady, and tactical details, adjust freely. Career decisions can feel paralyzing given their significance. Developing decision-making capacity helps you move forward when movement matters. Gather sufficient information, but recognize when more research becomes procrastination. You can't know everything. At some point, you must decide with incomplete information. Distinguish between useful information gathering and avoidance of deciding. Consult trusted advisors for perspective. Your advisor, mentors, friends, and family can offer viewpoints you might miss. They may see options or considerations that escaped your attention, but ultimately, you must make your own decisions. Advisors inform, you decide. Weigh trade-offs honestly rather than pretending they don't exist. Every choice has costs. Academic careers might sacrifice compensation. Industry careers might sacrifice research autonomy. Acknowledging trade-offs enables conscious choice rather than later disappointment when costs become apparent. Make decisions and commit to them. Endless deliberation that never resolves is itself a choice, usually a poor one. At some point, choose a path and pursue it wholeheartedly. Hedging that prevents full commitment often ensures mediocre outcomes on all fronts. Accept decisions and move forward. Ruminating about whether you chose correctly undermines execution of whatever you chose. Once decided, direct energy toward making the choice work rather than second-guessing it. Revisit decisions at appropriate intervals, not constantly. The transition from graduate school to career involves practical and emotional dimensions that deserve attention. Managing transitions well positions you for success in what comes next. Complete current commitments well. Finishing your degree, closing out projects, and fulfilling obligations demonstrates professionalism and maintains relationships. Burned bridges limit future options. Leave well even as you move on. Prepare deliberately for your next phase. Before starting a new position, understand what it will require. What do you need to learn? What adjustments to routines will be necessary? Mental preparation for new challenges reduces adjustment difficulty. The in-between period, after graduate school but before new roles fully begin, deserves thoughtful management. This liminal time can be disorienting. Use it intentionally. For rest, for transition tasks, for mental preparation. Don't waste it, but don't fill it so completely that you arrive at the next phase exhausted. Handle emotional challenges of transition. Leaving graduate school involves loss even when the future is positive. Changing identity from student to professional involves psychological adjustment. Acknowledging that transitions are emotionally complex is healthier than pretending they're purely logistical. Establish new routines in your new context. What worked in graduate school may not serve you in a new role. Deliberately building new habits, rhythms, and practices helps you succeed in changed circumstances. Career paths rarely proceed smoothly. Resilience, the capacity to navigate challenges and recover from setbacks, matters enormously for long-term success. Expect setbacks and prepare mentally for them. Job rejections, failed grants, publication rejections, difficult colleagues, challenges will arise. Expecting them prevents the shock that comes from assuming smooth sailing. Setbacks are normal, not signs of personal failure. Maintain long-term perspective when short-term difficulties arise. Individual setbacks matter less than overall trajectory. A rejection that feels devastating in the moment often fades to insignificance within a longer career. Zoom out when circumstances feel overwhelming. Find support from multiple sources. Professional challenges are easier to bear when you're not alone. Mentors, peers, friends, family, and sometimes professionals can provide support appropriate to different challenges. Build support networks before you desperately need them. Learn and grow from challenges rather than just enduring them. What did the setback teach you? How might you approach things differently? Challenges that produce learning contribute to development. Those that only wound fail to serve you. Extract value from difficulty. Sustain motivation through difficult periods. Connect with why your work matters. Celebrate small wins. Maintain practices that support well-being. Motivation fluctuates naturally. Building systems that sustain you through low points matters for long-term success. Career planning happens within the context of your whole life. Planning that ignores life beyond work produces careers that undermine well-being. Career is part of life, not all of it. Graduate school's intensity can create habits of overwork that aren't sustainable long-term. Planning for career success should include planning for life success. What kind of life do you want your career to enable? Relationships deserve investment alongside career. Partners, family, friends, these relationships sustain you and give life meaning beyond professional achievement. Careers that sacrifice all relationships for advancement often feel hollow even when conventionally successful. Health enables everything else. Your capacity to work depends on physical and mental health. Career plans that assume you can neglect health indefinitely set you up for eventual failure. Sustainable careers include practices that maintain well-being. Personal interests outside your profession maintain perspective and provide renewal. Hobbies, creative pursuits, and activities unrelated to work prevent the narrow identification with profession that makes setbacks devastating and success empty. Community connects you to purposes larger than individual achievement. Service, civic engagement, and contribution beyond your immediate circle provide meaning that professional success alone cannot. Consider how your career might contribute to communities you care about. The first years in a new career position are formative. How you approach them shapes your trajectory. Establish credibility in your new context. Whatever your prior accomplishments, you're starting fresh in a new environment. Demonstrate competence through quality work. Build trust through reliability. Show that you belong in your new role through how you perform it. Build networks in your new environment. You arrive knowing few people. Building relationships becomes an early priority. Colleagues, collaborators, mentors in your new context. These relationships support your success. Don't assume your graduate school network suffices. Deepen expertise while staying current. Your dissertation made you an expert in something narrow. Early career years should both deepen that expertise and develop breadth. Staying current in your field prevents obsolescence. Balance depth and breadth. Manage increased responsibilities. New positions often involve responsibilities you didn't have as a student, teaching loads, administrative duties, service obligations. Learning to manage these alongside research and other priorities requires intentional effort. Set sustainable pace early. Patterns established in first years tend to persist. If you establish unsustainable overwork, it becomes expected and continues. Modeling sustainable productivity from the start protects long-term well-being and career sustainability. Career planning isn't a one-time activity completed at graduation. Continuing development over your entire career sustains success and satisfaction. Learning continues throughout your career. Fields evolve, new methods emerge, knowledge advances. Staying current requires ongoing investment in learning. What you know at graduation becomes outdated without continuous development. Professional development never really ends. Goals evolve as you develop. What you want in your 20s may differ from what you want in your 40s or 60s. Career planning should be revisited periodically to ensure current goals, not outdated ones, guide your direction. Evolution is natural and healthy. Career pivots are increasingly common. Few people stay in exactly the same role for entire careers. Major redirections, changing fields, sectors, or focus areas happen frequently. Viewing your career as a sequence of chapters rather than a single story enables adaptation. Eventually, mentoring others becomes important. At some point, you transition from primarily receiving mentorship to providing it. Contributing to others' development offers satisfaction that individual achievement cannot and extends your influence beyond what you personally accomplish. Consider the legacy you want to leave. What do you want your career to have contributed? What impact do you hope to have had? Legacy thinking, without obsessing about it, provides direction and meaning that accumulating achievements alone cannot provide. Numerous resources support career planning. Knowing what's available helps you take advantage of existing support. Institutional career resources at universities often provide career counseling, workshops, job listings, and employer connections. Many students never visit their career center despite the resources available. Explore what your institution offers before you graduate. Mentors who can guide you provide personalized advice that generic resources cannot. Multiple mentors with different perspectives, academic, industry, personal, provide complementary guidance. Actively cultivate mentoring relationships rather than hoping they happen naturally. Professional associations in your field offer career resources, networking opportunities, job listings, and professional development. Many have resources specifically for early career members. Membership and active engagement connect you to broader professional community. Online communities and resources have expanded enormously. Websites, forums, social media communities, and online courses address career development for graduate students and early career professionals. Quality varies, but excellent resources exist for those who seek them. Books and frameworks for career thinking provide structured approaches to decisions you're facing. Authors like Cal Newport, Angela Duckworth, and many others offer perspectives on career development. Reading widely about career approaches provides tools for your own thinking. As we conclude this course, I want to offer some final reflections on your journey through graduate education and into your career. You're more prepared than you feel. Graduate students often suffer from imposter syndrome, doubting their readiness despite objective evidence of capability. The skills, knowledge, and experiences you've accumulated through graduate school genuinely prepare you for professional careers. Trust your preparation. Your path will not match others. Comparison with peers is natural but ultimately unhelpful. Some will advance faster in certain dimensions, you'll advance faster in others. Career paths are individual, and success looks different for different people. Define and pursue your own path. Challenges become growth opportunities when approached well. The difficulties you faced in graduate school and will face in your career develop resilience, skill, and wisdom that easier paths wouldn't provide. The challenges are part of how you become who you're becoming. Connection and support matter throughout. You don't have to navigate alone. Mentors, peers, friends, and family provide support that enables success. Building and maintaining these connections deserves ongoing investment. The journey continues after graduation. Completing your degree isn't an ending, it's a transition to the next phase. Learning, growing, and developing continue throughout your career and life. What you've started in graduate school extends far beyond the degree itself. Let's conclude with a comprehensive planning exercise that brings together everything we've covered into a personal action plan. First, clarify your values and priorities. Drawing on our earlier discussion of self-knowledge, articulate what matters most to you in work and life. What must your career provide? What would be nice but isn't essential? What can you absolutely not accept? Clear priorities guide all subsequent decisions. Second, identify your target career options based on realistic self-assessment. Which paths genuinely fit your priorities? Which are you qualified for or could become qualified for? Narrow from all possibilities to the most promising options for you specifically. Third, specify skill development needs for your target options. What gaps exist between your current capabilities and what your target careers require? Which gaps are most important to address? How will you develop needed skills? Fourth, set networking goals for building connections that support your career direction. What types of connections do you need? Who specifically might you connect with? What activities will you pursue to build relationships? Fifth, establish a timeline with milestones. When do you hope to transition? What intermediate goals will you achieve along the way? How will you measure progress? Finally, commit to immediate next steps, actions you will take this week to advance your plan. Specific commitments are more likely to produce action than general intentions. Congratulations on completing this comprehensive graduate school prep course. Over 50 videos, we've explored the full arc of graduate education, from deciding whether to pursue advanced study through the challenges and opportunities of your program to preparing for meaningful careers beyond graduation. You now have tools for success. This course has covered decision-making frameworks, practical skills, institutional knowledge, research capabilities, and professional development strategies. These tools don't guarantee particular outcomes. That depends on how you use them and on circumstances beyond your control, but they position you well for whatever paths you pursue. Plan deliberately while adapting flexibly. The planning skills we've discussed help you move toward goals intentionally. The flexibility we've emphasized helps you adjust when circumstances change. Both matter. Neither alone suffices. Hold your plans firmly enough to act on them, loosely enough to adapt when necessary. Invest in relationships and well-being alongside career advancement. The professional networks, personal relationships, and self-care practices we've discussed aren't peripheral to success. They're central to it. Careers built without these foundations often collapse or feel hollow. Build holistically. As you move forward from this course into the rest of your graduate education and beyond, know that countless others have traveled similar paths and found their way. The challenges you face are real but navigable. The opportunities ahead are genuine. I wish you every success in your graduate school journey and the career and life that follow. Go make your contribution to the world. Writing a thesis is a marathon, not a sprint, but you do not have to run it alone. If you are feeling stuck with your data or overwhelmed by your sources, let us help. Head over to subthesis.com. It is completely free and designed to make your life easier. You are making progress. Keep going. And don't forget to subscribe for more support.